Okay, so we're in a little bit of the dark here, but I'm just gonna leave it that way. We've got enough street lamps you can vaguely see my face. And I just the last week has been so freaking hard that I don't even know how I survived it. I'm still surviving it. Um it was one of the hardest interactions I've had with people and with management for sure. And it's not even because anyone was mean or anything, or was incompetent or anything. It just was everything. It was a matter of everyone sucks here. Everyone's got different priorities here. And so what happened is I was working the days at one job and the nights at another job. And obviously that's really hard. But it's not necessarily, the nights aren't what bothers me because I know how to do the nights. They're very easy, they're only 6 hours. It's not an issue. The problem was the day shifts because the day shifts were 9 hours long, with no breaks. And if you're asking how is that legal, treatment centers, healthcare. I say healthcare in the sense of like 24-hour supervision, direct care professionals. You will never ever get breaks in those jobs. I wish we could get breaks in those jobs, but we don't. And so it's really frustrating. So I don't have any time to recenter. You can ask for a break, but everyone just is like, really? And also everything has to be going your way to take a break. And you have to have your coworkers in a certain place to take a break. Because what usually will happen is these places can't hire enough people to have everyone there. And so you'll have a bare minimum by the state crew so that everyone has to be with a certain person and sometimes with multiple people. And it's the minimum required for the state. And so if you step out, then suddenly it's the laws being broken. And it's really weird the way that's set up. And that is probably the number one thing I hate about this industry, that I work in, as a direct care and person is it's just you don't get breaks. And I'm not saying on a grave shift I don't need a break. In the middle of the day, yeah, I need a break. I need to eat my food without being yelled at. I need to have a moment to breathe without thinking who's gonna try and run out a window. That sort of stuff. And I say direct care. I also include in that teenage treatment centers because there's a lot of similarities between disabled adult care and disabled teenagers, that because most of them have disabilities and that's why they're in the situation they're in, and but not necessarily all of them. It's just a really difficult job. And so because of that, my body's been having these panic attacks and stress responses, that I won't go into too much detail about my health in this regard, but needless to say, I couldn't work anymore for that night. And I wouldn't be able to work until I got something going with my doctor because we needed to figure out why this was happening to me. And it's something that's happened before, so we were needing to figure out, do we need to up my medication or something? And so we were trying to figure that out. And I'm still waiting on the doctor, but my husband and I have figured out a rudimentary solution for the time being. And part of that was that my husband talk to, because my husband works for the same company as me, one of them. Because the Grave company is a different company. And so what we ended up doing is, hey, I can't work this job anymore because my body's having a really severe stress response. And of course, they want to keep as many people as they can because they've already put the money into training me. And so they're like, hey, what if 2 weeks from now we can switch you over to Grave shifts? Because that's something I've been wanting. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I cannot work this job. It is causing these dangerous effects. Okay, my alarm went off in the middle of the video, so that's what I had to fix. But so another thing that we run into is that we have to fix me not having these issues at work. And so I hated to be this way, but I'm like, hey, I think Grave shifts might work. And they're like, we can maybe figure it out. Maybe I can try and get you in next week. And I'm like, I can't work with that. I cannot do these day shifts are too hard on me. And just because my body is not reacting well to the constant adrenaline of who's going to do what, and who's going to try and kill themselves, who's going to try and hurt themselves, who's going to try and run away. And it's just been a lot of adrenaline. And to be fair, I've worked for this company before. It was a little bit there before, but it wasn't there like this. And so what it is there's multiple sections of the treatment center, and they put me in the hardest section. And so we wanted to move me to Graves because that would be easier. And I'm like, hey, okay. Originally, when it was 2 weeks out, I'm like, okay, I'll put my 2 weeks in with the other company, and we'll just do it here because I'm kind of tired of dealing with my the Grave company that I'm with right now that works for disabled adults. And so I'm like, sure, we'll switch it over, whatever. But it wasn't soon enough. And I had another day with that extreme stress response. And I'm like, okay, this is going to keep happening. I can't let this keep happening. So I said, hey, I know this isn't what you need, and this is going to be really difficult, but I can't do this. I cannot do these day shifts because while they're awake, it's just too hard for me, and I'm sorry. And I told them that I quit. And they said, whoa, wait. Now that we take another look at things, we can actually get you in starting in 2 days. And I'm like, well, now I feel like the crappy manipulator because that's not what I was trying to do. I was not trying to give me what I want or I quit, because that's not the kind of person I am. But that's how it ended up. But in any case, that's where things led. And so now I'm going to be working like I wanted with Grave shifts with my husband. And we'll see if my body can handle the stress. I don't know if my body can handle the stress. I don't know if my body will ever be able to handle the amount of stress with this job. It's something that I consistently run into at every job working, is I can't work that many hours or else I get this extreme stress response. Anyway, that's what I've been dealing with, but I'm glad we've got it figured out. We've got it figured out. So I'm hoping that things will be better in the future, and that we'll be able to figure this now that we've gotten this done and put away, and I'll be able to work the job I want to work, and things will be okay, and I'll be able to help out with my husband, and it'll be great, and we'll commute together, and it'll be awesome.